Continuing coverage now, a continued push this morning by lawmakers in both parties for more transparency in regards to files related to Jeffrey Epstein. Our Scripps News Group's Nathaniel Reed joins us now. And Nate, we know multiple outlets, they've reported that the president's name does appear in some of those files. How worried are Republicans specifically about what this could mean for the president?
Well, look, it was a wild week on Capitol Hill in terms of these Epstein files. The House of Representatives effectively grinding to a halt over disagreements between Republicans, Democrats, and, of course, House Speaker Mike Johnson over how best to proceed on trying to release some of these Epstein files. There's a lot of Republicans and Democrats who want to vote on something to compel the Department of Justice to release these files, and Attorney General Pam Bondi questions about where things go from there. Speaker Johnson opting to send everyone home early for their August recess rather than force the issue. So lawmakers are now home for the recess, but at the same time, a lot of questions about the president's own implications here. We saw a report this week from the Wall Street Journal and New York Times basically saying that President Trump had been informed earlier this year by the Attorney General Pam Bondi that his name is in these Epstein files. A lot of questions about the president's own exposure, but Republicans on Capitol Hill don't actually seem too worried, including the ones who want the release of these Epstein files. They say, look, President Trump has been open and honest about this. He kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his club in the early 2000s ahead of his first arrest. A lot of questions, again, about where things go from here.
We want to expose the criminals, and we want to protect the victims, because let's just be honest, some people may have flown on the plane, but they're not charged and did nothing wrong.
This is not new news whatsoever, so they're not reporting that he was involved in any kind of inner circle with Epstein.
And as you just heard, Republicans not too concerned about President Trump's possible exposure in these documents. They say that if there was anything incriminating, they believe it would have been released by the Biden administration or Democrats over the past several years when President Biden was in office. At the same time, lawmakers have subpoenaed Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's associate, who is in federal custody. She was interviewed by the Department of Justice yesterday and again today. Lawmakers want to interview her on August 11th, actually pose some questions following the money questions to her face. A lot of questions about where things go from here and whether lawmakers will get to the bottom of this story and get some of those files released.
Yeah, Nate, appreciate your reporting this morning. I know this is something that a lot of people are watching, is getting so much attention, and every day it seems like there's something new that comes out. So it's a lot to follow. Really appreciate your report this morning, Nate.
Thanks, Anthony.